Well, what is up, all of you Ugnaughts and Jawas out there? This is Mando Talk. I'm your host, Caleb Keller, and I'm joined alongside the co-host is back. Nolan Ferris.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good afternoon or morning or
Night.
evening, whatever time
Whenever
time you're listening.
Whatever you're doing right now.
Whatever you're doing.
Hope you're enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah, because you're listening to the best Star Wars podcast in the land.
The best in the galaxy.
A rare
This
gem.
galaxy and any galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob Keller is with us as well. What's up, man?
Not much, man. Enjoying life, enjoying being here
Absolutely.
with my boys, talking about Star Wars.
The boys.
Oh,
Now,
boys.
we're continuing our rewatch. We watched Chapter 6. I feel like Chapter 6 is longer than the other ones. I don't know why.
Yeah, it is a longer. I think it's what
43.
43 minutes.
Checks in at 43 something.
So yeah, it's a touch longer.
Yeah, but, and I believe if you go back to our initial take, I think me and Nolan were a bit negative about it.
Yes, y'all
I was
were.
very
I remember
negative.
that.
Because I'll say this. It doesn't really push forward like Din and the child's story and
the narrative.
relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's more so just like, again, one of those side missions that Din's doing because he's trying to successfully take care of the child,
Mm-hmm.
but it just doesn't explore those two, which is what you want to be watching it for.
Right. The first time we
So-
watched it, I was very confused about the storyline and
Yeah.
why this mattered in the story. Now, watching it the second time, I kind of understood it a little bit more, and now this is my
Yeah.
third time watching it. And I've got to say, I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting I was going to, because I
That's
haven't
good.
seen it. I haven't watched this episode since I've watched the end.
Okay.
So seeing this now, I appreciate it a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I like it.
It's
I
like one of
actually did.
It's
like
one
it.
of those things where I think as you're watching, your expectations are just so high. Like
Right.
while you're in that
Right.
moment.
Oh yeah.
Like while we were here last year in November expecting the next chapter. But now that we kind of get to step back and we know where the season ends up going eventually, we're able to be just like, okay, we can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Yep.
I don't have to have these high expectations. And when we get to it, there's a lot of cool things in here as far as just
Oh, yeah, for
action
sure.
goes
Yes.
that I really
cool things.
enjoy and fits perfectly with kind of but America's holiday coming up, Halloween. I get some Halloween vibes in there, and we'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
And I just enjoyed it a little bit more than I expected to. But before we get to that Chapter 6 rewatch, we are going to do, as always, our This Week in the Galaxy Far Away. We're going to talk about things going on in the Star Wars universe, news, rumors, speculation. A lot of cool things are going on in Star Wars. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. We've got 3 key things to talk about this week. Now, the first one came out late Friday evening, and I want to hear y'all's take or y'all's thoughts. It was spotted by Kessel Run Transmissions, which is, I believe, a Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
They also have a podcast as well, that the Disney Plus Germany Instagram posted a story regarding Season 2 of The Mandalorian, and it included Rosario Dawson and Timothy Olyphant in the cast. So people are running with it. They're like, okay, we've got confirmation then that Ahsoka Tano is for sure in the show. We still don't really know who Timothy Olyphant's playing, although it was rumored
Right.
that he is Cobb Vanth, the
Right.
sheriff
Mm-hmm.
that's in Boba Fett's armor on Tatooine. Do y'all think this is enough for us to finally say, okay, they're in it, let's move on, and let's just look forward to when we finally see them?
I think I saw the headline somewhere.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing that online
Mhm.
one day when I was like browsing.
Yeah.
So who was it that reported on this again?
Kessel Run Transmissions.
Okay.
And they screen recorded Disney Plus Germany's Instagram story to show Rosario and Timothy being shown in that story as part of the cast.
So Disney Plus Germany's
Account,
Instagram
right.
said that they were in the cast.
Correct.
Huh. Okay.
And for me,
That's
I feel like it's
interesting.
one of those things that almost confirms it. again, I'm just not one of the believers until I finally see it because
Yeah.
I've been burned so many times.
Yeah.
Nolan, what do you think?
I almost don't want to like read anything else from now
Yeah.
on. I do, like
Yeah.
until the show comes out. I don't want to like. I'll read the reviews,
Right.
but I don't want to read the previews
Okay.
because it like I said, and Star Wars fans are notorious for this, overhyping it to the point to where when it actually does happen, you can't quench your thirst with it.
Yeah.
Fair.
So I don't want to read any more
Okay.
news. I mean, we've got what 2-3 weeks.
3 more
3
weeks.
3 weeks. So, yeah, I'm good. I will stay off our Star Wars pages, and I'll be kind of the virgin eyes to the show
Okay.
as far as being. I want to be totally surprised when I see it.
Well, I mean, I
Yeah.
got a second thing to talk about.
I
that's
know,
regarding
I know,
season
and this
2
is
of
the thing.
Mandalorian.
You know, I
I
don't,
mean-
I don't want to listen to all these Star Wars shows, and here I am on one. So,
yeah.
it's gonna be difficult. But
Well,
as far as like, I don't want to see any spoilers
plot
because
stuff.
plot
See,
stuff.
we're not going to do that
Yeah.
here.
Right.
At least for me. If I see something online, I don't really want to do it. But if it's one of those things where like everyone's talking about it, that's when I feel like,
Right.
okay, maybe we do have to talk about it.
Right.
But so kind of like when that Boba Fett rumor hit over the summer,
Right.
like
Yeah.
everybody was
Yeah.
talking about that.
Mhm.
And so I felt like we had to do it. And I think we spent like a whole show on it.
We did.
But
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that like that almost broke the Star Wars Twitterverse there
Yeah.
for a second. But yeah, I mean, for us at Mando Talk, as far as season 2 spoilers go, if we see anything, I don't think we're gonna report it here.
Nah.
Y'all feel safe saying that, or
Yeah.
should we maybe
I don't-
backtrack and be like, well, we might, or we'll give a disclaimer. How
Okay.
about that?
How far are we going though? Because I feel like with this character stuff, we could be doing that as
True.
well.
That's
so
fair.
I don't think we can. I don't think we can limit ourselves.
You're probably right.
I don't think we can because at what point do you say this is a spoiler?
True.
What if it's just speculation?
I mean, it could be considered speculation.
Okay.
It's speculation until we see it
Everything-
on our television
Yeah,
screen.
Yeah.
everything
Exactly.
everything we are going to be talking about for the next 3 weeks on Mando Talk is a speculation.
Absolutely. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Listen.
Which
So-
means that it probably won't come true.
When
Okay.
when we say it, they do the opposite. We're the world's
Yeah.
worst
Okay.
speculators.
Okay. So let me say this then.
But the best Star Wars show you'll ever
Boba
watch.
Absolutely.
Fett will not be in season 2 of The Mandalorian. How about that?
Okay, I see what you're doing.
All right.
I see what you're doing.
Okay, now we're gonna continue though. We do have something to talk about with The Mandalorian. This isn't a spoiler though. This is just something that actually makes me feel good. It makes me feel positive about the season.
Mm-hmm.
Official breakdown of the writers that have contributed to season 2 of The Mandalorian has been released according to the Writers Guild of America. So very established, spot on. This is 100% correct.
The Guild.
The Guild, correct. Episode 1, Jon Favreau. Episode 2, Jon Favreau. Episode 3, Jon Favreau. Episode 4, Jon Favreau.
I like it so far.
Episode 5, Dave Filoni. Episode 6, Jon Favreau. Episode 7, and I always butcher his last name, Rick Famuyiwa, something like that. He directed the Chapter 6 we saw today.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's coming back helping.
Very
Chapter,
good direction in that.
Episode 8, Jon Favreau.
Hmm.
So Jon Favreau is doing 6 of the 8 chapters, and then we got Dave Filoni and Rick Famuyiwa.
And
However
that's-
you say that last name. I'm
That's
so sorry.
writing.
Correct, the writers. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about, though. This is not a spoiler. This is purely speculation. Episode 5, Dave Filoni. If he's the one writing it, I feel like that's the Ahsoka Tano episode, if we're going to get her.
Really?
Because he's the creator of that character.
Oh.
He's the one that invented Ahsoka. So I feel like Jon Favreau, from what we've seen so far, I think he respects Star Wars so much that he would take a step back and he would be like, look, I want you to reintroduce Ahsoka into The Mandalorian for this one episode, but then I'm going to continue in episode 6 and I'll write that one next. What do y'all think? I mean, that's just my initial take,
Wow.
and that's what a lot of people are out there thinking too. Because for me and me, my personality, I would kind of do the same thing if I was in Favreau's shoes. I'd be like, look, since you created this character, I'll take a step back and let you put this back out there for everyone to just love and
A
adore,
little bit of closure.
and then I'll continue the rest of the way.
I'm gonna play off of you.
Okay.
All right. I think let's start going back and forth with chapter 6, what we just watched.
Okay.
You said the director of this past episode, the one we
Mhm.
just watched, the one we're reviewing
Or
tonight,
writer, right?
is going to write. No, he directed this episode.
Correct.
He's going
Oh,
to
okay.
write episode 7.
Correct.
Okay. Do you think that's where we get a little bit of closure on this episode?
Ooh, okay. Because he also helped writing Chapter 6 as well. So he wasn't necessarily the only writer on
Right.
Chapter 6 in Season 1, but he helped with it.
So do you think that's where these
that's a
characters
possibility.
are reintroduced
I
again?
like that idea. However, I'll say
Huh.
this, and we'll talk about it more later when we get to the rewatch. I would be okay. I do think we'll see these characters again eventually, and that's a total spoiler for what we're going to say later in our rewatch. But I think I'd be okay with them waiting another season to go back to them.
Yeah, I don't need to see them.
I mean, I don't mind seeing them, but I don't need to see them like right away. Like I'm not
Yeah.
itching and clawing to see that crew again
Right.
and picking up at that story.
Yeah.
Jacob, what are your thoughts on, or are you still playing off of what I said? or-
No, that was just kind of what I
Okay.
was thinking. So yeah, I agree. That would make sense
Yeah.
for that to be true as far as Dave Filoni directing and writing the Ahsoka episode.
Right.
But it
Now,
would
I
also
don't-
make sense for the director and the part writer that wrote this chapter 6 to be
Right.
directing the reappearance of those characters in the end of season
Correct.
2.
I can see that. I
I
don't
would at
disagree
least
there.
expect there to be the same kind of like action that we saw in this chapter 6
Mhm.
as this upcoming episode that he's directing or
Yeah.
that he's written. I would at least expect to see that same sort of action where, Mando is very, I don't know. Well, we'll get to that. He's like the hunter, right?
Right.
One thing, though, that I'm just hoping with y'all saying all this is I really just hope that they don't introduce Ahsoka too soon, That's been...
So is Chapter 5 too soon?
I don't know. We'll
Or
see.
Episode 5. I don't know how they're going to keep the chapter thing going. I don't know if it's going to be continuation, like they'll say Chapter 9 is the first episode,
Mhm.
or if they'll recycle. But anyway, that was a
Yeah.
side note. But yeah, I don't know. And I might be reading too much into it because I think I was looking at this earlier, and I'm going to try to pull this up.
Do you think Ahsoka is going to have a big role? I don't.
I don't think so, not in this one. I think she will in later seasons. I think this is the season where she's introduced to it. Kind of like in Star Wars Rebels when she
okay.
was introduced in that animated show again.
Yeah.
I think that she was put there toward the end of the season for her to be more heavily involved later in the show.
Yeah. All right, so you said something a few weeks ago about how in the middle of the season the directions would split, something
yeah,
like
there's
that.
a rumor report out there that
Okay.
tends to believe so, but I don't know if I'm buying it.
Now, which number episode is it that Filoni is
Chapter 5.
writing?
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm.
It's very interesting.
What do you mean directions will
Oh,
split?
so there's like some rumor report that things happened on the set, and at the midway point of the season, we aren't necessarily solely focused on Din Djarin anymore, and it kind of switches gears a little bit to incorporate other characters into the story.
No, I think wasn't it that Favreau said something
That he
kind
wants
of
it to
along
be Game
the
of
lines.
Thrones
yeah,
style.
yeah.
So he's wanting to integrate other storylines that eventually all connect to each other
Mm-hmm.
at the end game, which we would see in later seasons. But again, I don't know if I fully buy into that necessarily. I think that's left to be seen. So yeah, let me draw this out because we might be just looking too much into this. Season 1. Jon Favreau wrote episodes 1 through 4. Season 2, Jon Favreau is writing episodes 1 through 4. Season 1, Dave Filoni wrote Chapter 5. Season 2, Dave Filoni is writing episode 5.
Oh, okay.
Season 1, Chapter 6, written by Christopher Yost, but also helped by Rick Famuyiwa, or however you say his name. Again, I keep butchering that. That is a little bit different, though. Season 2, Jon Favreau is taking over 6. 7 in Season 2 is Rick Famuyiwa. But in Season 1, it was Favreau. Chapter 8, both of them finales, Jon Favreau. So, like, it almost lines up.
Yeah.
There's just a little bit of difference with the 6th and 7th episodes.
Yeah.
So, like, is it something that we're reading too much into?
Probably.
Is it really? It's really Jon Favreau's vision being mapped out in a very similar format.
Mm-hmm.
And are we just looking too far into it?
Probably.
Probably. Now, it is interesting, though, that Chapter 5, where we get that hopeful introduction of Boba Fett, is being directed by, or written by Dave Filoni,
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 5 in Season 2. So is Dave Filoni more so focused on Boba Fett and not Ahsoka Tano?
His episode in Season 1 was Tatooine.
Right.
And
So it would make sense for him to continue to play in that area.
yeah.
Even though Chapter 5 was the least critically acclaimed chapter of Season 1. But yeah, anyway, are we reading too much into this is my big question. Which me, like, spurring on all that list, feels like we probably are.
I think out of
Hoo-wee.
all of the connections we've talked about, I feel like probably the Tatooine one might be the only legit one.
Yeah. So you're saying it would make sense since Dave Filoni directed
Yeah.
Tatooine in Season 1. Or, sorry, we keep saying directed. We only know writing based off of
Right.
this. So, but he did direct Chapter 5. But anyway, writing Chapter 5,
Mm-hmm.
playing in Tatooine sandbox, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
It would make sense for him to do the same in Season 2.
For sure.
All right, Nolan, what do you think? I see you brainstorming over there. You're debating,
He's
questioning.
got that look over there.
He's probably thinking, wow, they are nerds. Y'all are looking way too much into this. Just watch the
Yeah.
dang show.
So, not exactly, but close.
Okay.
I think we are reading a little bit much into it, but
Yeah.
here's why. I mean, we can sit here and try to figure it out, but we're probably wrong.
True. And like you said earlier, they do the opposite of what we say.
Yes. Now, I do think that if Dave Filoni does not write the Ahsoka episode, he will direct it.
Okay.
I don't have any doubt in my mind that that will happen.
Yeah.
We don't know directors for Season 2 yet.
We know a list, but we don't
We
know
don't-
like
we know
which
a list.
ones they're taking over.
Yeah.
So I actually have that list here in front of me.
Yeah, go ahead and spout those off.
Rick Famuyiwa, Bryce Dallas Howard, both are returning.
Mm-hmm.
Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, both
Yes.
returning. But new directors, Peyton Reed, Robert Rodriguez, and Grief Karga himself, Carl Weathers. So 3 new directors, but 4 directors returning. Now, Dave Filoni is directing the episode that he's writing. So,
No female
He's got-
directors?
yes, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Okay, yes, yeah.
No Deborah Chow, though. She's fully focused on Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
As she should be, even
As she
though it's
should
a
be.
big loss to the Mandalorian. 'Cause
Yeah.
you know, here we're big fans of Deborah Chow
Yeah,
and her
work.
skill. Yeah.
Yes. Now, I will say this, too, while I'm here. It is Wikipedia, so take it or leave it. They have him listed as, for Season 2, starting with the first episode as Chapter 9. So maybe they are continuing that instead of resetting it.
Season 2, Chapter 9.
Right.
Hmm.
And maybe to where it's like just one fluent chapter list, I guess.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
they'll put it on DVD one day.
yeah, who knows? But yeah, I like that. I like them doing that. I know we're completely getting away here. But man, yeah, we're probably looking too much into it. But again, it's because we want to see this
That's
thing.
why you guys
Yeah.
come here to Mando Talk. We
Absolutely.
overanalyze it.
We do.
Yeah.
and we get it
to
wrong
death.
so that they actually do it correctly.
Yes.
But although
We're not simple-minded folk around here.
No, we're not. We're not. Now, that's all that we have for Mandalorian news.
How do you pronounce that, guys? Let me see it.
Okay, yes,
I'm good
Jacob.
at pronouncing
The
things.
brilliant, right there where it says Episode 7, Rick.
You only get one shot.
Yeah,
You only
It's
get one shot.
Famuyiwa.
you heard
That's
it.
fake.
There you go.
That's made
That's
up.
how it's spelled.
Famuyiwa.
Famuyiwa.
Okay, you're going to start saying his name from here on out, man. All right, that's all we have for Season 2 Mandalorian news. There is one more thing to hit, though, and it's just for fun. Star Wars High Republic, we got another tidbit for it. And we get the first opening crawl on StarWars.com for Star Wars The High Republic. So, I'll read it off. I'll let y'all kind of just play with it if y'all want to. If we don't want to spend a lot of time on it, we don't have to. That's fine. We are
Let's
Mando
hear
Talk.
it.
Star Wars, The High Republic. I'm not going to read it like that, though.
No, you should.
No. The galaxy is at peace, ruled by the glorious Republic and protected by the noble and wise Jedi Knights. As a symbol of all that is good, the Republic is about to launch Starlight Beacon into the far reaches of the Outer Rim. This new space station will serve as a ray of hope for all to see. But just as a magnificent renaissance spreads throughout the Republic, so does a frightening new adversary. Now the Guardians of Peace and Justice must face a threat to themselves, the galaxy, and the Force itself. Now, I know initially reading that last part where it talks about a new adversary, I think a lot of on the surface fans are going to be like, oh, it's the Sith. Let's go. This is going to be awesome. From what I've seen, I don't think it's the Sith. I think because I know that when they initially announced the High Republic, like the initial villains that we're going to see are like pirate-like people, species, individuals. So I don't necessarily know that they're teasing up the Sith. However, there's no doubt we're eventually going to get Sith action in the High Republic. I just don't want us to read that and be like, this is about to be epic. Finally, this war of Jedi or this army of Jedi versus army of Sith is going to go down.
That's like even before all this, right?
Because this is only, I think, no, I don't know if it's 300. I feel like I'm pulling that number from somewhere else. It's not as far back as, I think it's still while the Rule of Two has been proposed or enacted for the Sith.
After Darth Bane.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think? I mean, from reading that crawl,
I do
what are
think
the
it's
interesting things that stuck out to you?
It stuck out to me that it said that it was a threat to the Force itself.
Yeah.
So
That is interesting.
You know, there's only one thing that we know of that's really like that.
True. Now, Nolan, what are you going to say?
I don't know.
I distracted you.
So I'm interested to know what the new adversary is.
Yeah.
What do you guys think it could be? I mean, it's a High Republic. Times are good. What is a light beacon or star beacon or whatever?
Yeah, so that was actually
is that
the
a
thing
new
that
spaceship or something?
that was the thing that stuck out to me the most, the Starlight Beacon. Like, what is that? And they're putting it out in the far reaches of the Outer Rim, like, and it's a space station. So yay, we're getting more space stations in Star Wars. Shocker, but hey, it is what it is. I don't know. Let me look up Starlight Beacon and see if something pops up. But other than that, I mean, because that's the thing that stuck out to me the most. What do y'all think? Other than that.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Here's the picture.
Mean, Starlight Beacon, that stuck out. Like, what in the world is a Starlight Beacon?
There's the picture of it. It kind of just looks like a legit small little space station.
No, look at that tower. The tall one.
That tower looks like the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you think a Starlight Beacon is a Jedi training facility, or
that's an interesting concept. Or I think it
for
could
the
be.
Outer Rim to.
I think that's a possibility.
Do you think they're still hunting like midi-chlorians out of there?
Possibly. And I think they could be doing stuff for Kyber Crystals. I mean, everything with the Force, I think, is a possibility.
So yeah, all
And
of
they
the
have
above.
so many Jedi, too, that I think this is possible
How many?
for, who knows, it's possible for these to be like small little stations, and you're just Jedi are assigned to which space station
Like
they
an
should be
outpost.
assigned to.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously, though, that the Jedi Temple on Coruscant is still the big one. Like, that's where the legit Jedi are at. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of almost, and I hate to say this, but it's a little Star Trek-y, where there's different outposts and different space stations and different ships. And, you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Yoda's stationed on Starlight Beacon?
Yoda's somewhere, because they released a picture of him.
Yeah.
So, who knows? But I'm glad that you pointed that out, because I initially just kind of looked at it and I was a little bit underwhelmed, because reading that crawl, it's like, man, this thing's legit. I thought it was going to be something huge, but really, it's
like a Death Star.
yeah, it's really kind of just a Jedi temple on top of a small little station. That's about it. But it'll be really interesting to see. And again, we might be reading too much into this. As always. Let us know what you think about Star Wars, The High Republic, and its opening crawl. And also let us know what you think about the Mandalorian things that we got throughout the week. Tell us that we're reading into too much, and tell us to not quit our day jobs and, not
Yeah.
focus on Star Wars speculation. Now, we are going to get into our main focus for this episode, and our main focus that we're continuing for the next 2 weeks now. And we are focusing in on Chapter 6, The Prisoner, tonight in our Rewatch series, directed by Rick. I'm looking at you, Jacob. What's his last name?
Fimawaya.
Yeah. Famuyiwa.
Famuyiwa.
No.
Okay. Directed by
Famuyiwa.
Famuyiwa.
Fama Jamma.
Directed by that awesome dude. Written by Christopher Yost and that awesome dude.
Famama Wawa.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so on the top, I think there's one big concept that we've talked about that easily connects into future seasons, if not season 2.
Yes.
Other than that, though, I don't know about anything further than that, other than the possibility of these characters coming back. So what I would kind of like to do with this rewatch
I know
is
something that could be mentioned in the second season.
Okay, we'll get to it. So hold on. Hang tight. What I want to do first is just real quickly hit our favorite moments of the chapter, just in general, just to give the audience, those of you listening, just to remind you why, again, what we're doing in this rewatch is reminding you why we love the show in the first place, too. So, for me, and I've already teased it.
Don't steal my part.
Yeah, me either.
Okay, then y'all open it up. What were y'all's favorite moments? And we're going to start with Nolan.
My favorite part was when he was sneaking up behind Mayfield and the strobe lights.
Yeah.
And it was very Halloweenish.
There we go.
As you said earlier. But yeah, that was my favorite part. It reminded me of an old horror movie.
Yeah.
Where you see the bad guy creeping up, and then he gets closer, and then strobes
Agreed.
go out, gets closer. So yeah, that was it's my favorite part.
Yeah. Now, the term that I used was a haunted maze. So,
Yeah.
up yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Halloweenish.
Now, something that I don't know why I enjoyed it so much, but that same scene, whenever that little mouse droid runs by,
Oh, it's just a tiny
that's
little
just,
boat.
I don't know why, but that's awesome to me. It's just like, again, setting the scene of like something freaky's going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very Halloweenish.
Yeah.
Jacob, your favorite moments?
I like when Dan was fighting the droids.
Dude, yes, that was my next one.
Because he bashed them.
Yes, he did.
Oh, man.
Now,
And
those are
heavy-duty droids. Those
Right.
aren't no separatist, droid army droids.
yeah,
They aren't frail, Those are solid droids.
yeah.
And they got blasters.
Solid. They are solid.
Yeah. Their blasters shot right through metal.
Yeah,
Did you notice that? When Din shot one of them in the head, it went right through it.
right.
That's impressive.
It is most impressive.
It did not go through the Beskar steel though.
That's true.
True. Beskar still stays on top.
Mm-hmm.
There was something that I wanted to point out about that scene, but I completely forgot it. But to bounce off of you two, those two moments, by far my favorite of the episode.
My second favorite one was not part of that.
Okay, what's your second one?
My second favorite was when we see Clone Wars Anakin.
Okay, elaborate on that a little bit.
Okay, we see Clone Wars Anakin, and
Oh my god,
in the control room.
that was so great. Hey, maybe those listening haven't seen it in a while, so yeah, that's good.
So, in the control room, it was supposed to be a prison ship just ran by droids, and or if you're a long-time listener, as I like to call them, drones.
Oh gosh,
That's a long time ago, right?
yeah, it was, man, in
But,
our rookie days.
Yeah, rookie days, one microphone days. So the voice actor for Anakin in the Clone Wars series was the control operator. And that was one of my favorite parts when that's kind of what turned the tides for real for the gang that boarded.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of my favorite parts.
Agreed. Now,
And just because I think it's going to elaborate on that in season 2 as well, as far as, Mando loves wasting droids, but he doesn't like really killing.
Yeah.
agreed.
He doesn't
So-
like killing
Yeah,
people.
that thought
He
kind of
doesn't like
came to
killing
my head
people.
while watching this chapter as well.
But like hearing the other people on the team talk about his past,
Yeah,
it sounds like he didn't used to care about killing people.
Yeah.
Did you
it's
notice that?
target practice.
yeah. I can,
Yup.
Yeah.
Yup.
So that
Yeah.
makes me wonder, was he like just trying to act tough back then, or
impress the girls.
yeah,
Yeah. The Twi'lek.
or did he really have a change of heart somewhere along
Xi'an.
the way?
Well, the child definitely has changed his heart, no
Yes.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yup.
I would love to get more elaboration on who Din Djarin was before the child.
Yeah. Yup.
I mean, we get it a little bit in chapter 1. I mean, literally the majority of the film, majority of that episode.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we do get a lot of his background in this episode
Yeah,
specifically. It hints that he might have taken his helmet off for Xi'an.
yeah.
it hints at it.
but I'm not buying what she's saying.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. It left that door open.
It left it open, yes, but rewatching chapter 4, he was so
Or she left it open. I
Yeah.
don't think.
Din Djarin was so sincere and serious when he was, and I felt like it was a genuine moment when he was explaining to, what was her name in chapter 4? We talked about her, Jacob, the woman that kind
Yeah, I know
of
what
started.
you're talking about.
Jeez, we're horrible. But he was being so genuine with explaining, like, the last time I took my helmet off was when I was their age,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like he was lying to her in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not buying what Xi'an is
Xi'an.
saying.
Yeah.
She just
Nah.
seems like somebody that she's just saying it to get under his skin or trying to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Now, if you haven't seen chapter 6, and I think y'all have hit on my favorite moments as well, so I'm just going to real quick just remind those listening of all these things that we're talking about. If you haven't seen it in a while, Mandalorian reconnects with Rand and needs to complete a mission to get some money to continue helping the child and protecting him and Xi'an, and he's introduced to Mayfield, Zero, and Berg. He doesn't know those individuals. They all run this mission together. They all think it's just to save, or actually,
know.
Mando doesn't know that it's
Right.
Quinn or
Quinn.
Kin that he's
Quinn.
going after. But the end game of the mission was that they were going to save Quinn and kick Mando into the jail cell, keep him in prison, and escape. Well, obviously, then we get our favorite moment where he just haunted maze the craps out of them, gets them all imprisoned. He escapes with Quinn back to Rand, but awesome moment, and I forgot how awesome it was that he sneaks that New Republic tracker onto the Razor Crest with him and gives it to Quinn for that space station to eventually get shot at.
Blown up.
Here's one thing too
Blown up.
that that I thought was interesting. So when they're fixing to get on, when Quinn's fixing to board the ship and make off without everybody,
Yeah.
And Mando shows up, Quinn asks him, did you kill them all? And Mando doesn't give him a straight answer, but he says, I did what I had to do.
Right.
They got what they deserved.
Yeah, they got what they deserved.
Got what they deserved.
Yeah.
And and then when he gets back to the base and Rand asks him, where's everybody else? And he says, no questions asked.
Right.
Right. And so nobody's going to come looking for those people because they think they're dead.
That's true.
That's a good point.
So they're just going to stay there. Mando's the only one that knows they're alive.
But are they able to break out similar to how he did? I think that's a possibility, honestly. You see what I'm saying, though? Like, I don't see Mando going back to get them for some reason unless he absolutely needs them for a job, which I would be disappointed if he does so.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting to kind of the season 2 possibilities here. I don't think we're done with those characters.
I don't either, but as I'm saying, is Mando would have to be the one to go get them.
Correct. Unless they break out and they take control of the
prison ship and start a gang with all the other prisoners.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, who knows?
A new crime syndicate.
Now, I do kind of have a little bit of a pushback toward his station gets blown up.
I don't think it's blown up.
I think.
But you think.
On my first watch, I thought Rand and Quinn were dead. I'm not 100% sure that they're dead.
So, I think Quinn is.
Okay.
Rand ran back.
He did.
So.
Perfect name for him.
Yeah. He's still alive. We'll see Rand again. Quinn's, I think Quinn's dead. Because Rand
blew up.
Well,
Quinn was running.
Yeah.
Quinn was running backwards, so it left that open as he escaped. I think Quinn is dead because Rand handed Quinn the tracker and was like,
"See, dude,
deuces," about to hit the road.
Right.
So yeah, I think.
Yeah. So I think it's possible for every single one of those characters to come back except Zero. He's gone.
Yeah,
that
Zero is
dead.
What do they call it? Scrap metal.
Scrap metal. Exactly. But
sold for parts.
I think if I was to put money on it, I would say that if any of them survived that that station, it was Rand.
Rand survived. There's no doubt in my mind that he survived. I think Quinn's dead. I think he's done.
Okay.
And I think when Shion finds out that Quinn's dead, it's going to be on between her and Mando.
Okay. I can see that. And my next question then, I guess, though, since we're trying to connect this to Season 2, are we going to get them in Season 2? Or do you think it's something we see later? And I know, again, it's hard for us to predict this stuff. We're not professionals. So just have fun with it.
Are.
Jacob, do you think we'll see this crew in Season 2? Or is it something that we see later? And I think we're all under the agreement that we're going to see them at some point, correct? Season 2 or later?
Are we?
I think we will.
Is there a little pushback from you, Jacob?
I don't know.
Okay, so go ahead and elaborate then. What do you think we'll get with this crew?
Based off of the trailer that we've seen, it looks like there's going to be so many other worlds that Din is going to, and the child, and so many other characters that he's going to meet that I am not sure that they would reintroduce characters from the first season. Unless it's like the the mechanic in Tatooine when Din goes back to Tatooine.
Yeah, just like basically a
Yeah,
What was that
Side
hangar
drop.
number?
I don't remember.
23 or something.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't feel like they
You're
would
not a numbers guy?
reintroduce old characters though, unless they were essential to the place that Din goes to.
I can see that.
You know.
So I'm on your side toward this. I don't think we'll see him in season 2, but I don't think we're done with him. I think we'll get him in another season as, again, one of the side missions that they made very clear in season 1 that they enjoy doing episodes like that, where it's not necessarily directly connected to the main plot line, but you're going to see Din Djarin in action, and you're going to see why people fear the Mandalorians as a side episode.
That's typical Clone Wars, too.
True.
I mean, it's very Clone Wars-ish.
Yeah.
Where, we go off on a rant with two sisters for half the last season, and just makes no sense.
Sure, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think, Nolan? Are we going to see them, this crew that's been in prison in season 2 or later, or not at all?
We will see them later.
Okay.
Not in this season.
I agree. So, Jacob, you said that there was something else possibly in season 2 that I didn't touch on. What is that?
What
I
is
just
it?
wanted to mention
What is it?
like
What's
how
in the
much
box?
I just wanted to say how much New Republic stuff we got in this episode. I think we'll probably see more of that.
I hope.
Yeah.
Because he hates the New Republic.
Yeah.
Despises it.
No, I think he at least thinks that they're useless.
They're a joke. Sure.
Yeah,
That's
they're a joke.
probably a better way to put it.
I don't think he hates them.
Do you
but
think he likes the Empire better?
No.
Nah.
Absolutely not.
Nah.
Because
especially now
his
that
people.
Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say something though while you were. New Republic. We know we're gonna see him because in the season 2 trailer we get 2 shots where there's X-wings.
Yep. Yep.
So I look forward to getting New Republic details.
That's another of my favorite things about this episode is the X-wings.
And
As soon as they popped up on screen, and
the
they're
pilots,
like,
the pilots of those X-wings,
mm-hmm.
Dave Filoni, Deborah Chow, and Rick.
Famuyiwa.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they going to be the pilots in season 2? Nah.
I don't know. They made it out of there alive.
True. But I think
But if they're the only X-Wing pilots in the galaxy,
then
I
the
mean,
New Republic is running slim.
Yeah.
They need to do some recruiting.
dang there, Leia.
Okay, well, that's all that I took away for Chapter 6. The Prisoner, I enjoyed it a lot better now that we're not in the middle of Season 1.
Right.
And again, I could sit back and just enjoy the show.
Yeah.
It
very
is good
entertaining.
Star Wars. It is good Star Wars.
Very entertaining.
Yeah. I just love the action in this show.
Those
Blasters,
even-
action, droids,
Mhm.
drones.
Even
all
the
of 'em.
suspension with the child trying to
we
like,
didn't even
hide
really
from
talk
Zero,
about
from
that.
the droid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the least active episodes for the child,
Mm-hmm. But it's still suspenseful.
it's still great
Yeah.
when the child is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you think about Chapter 6, The Prisoner. Tell us if you loved it, liked it, hated it, or you're just over Season 1 and you're ready to see Season 2.
Yeah. I know I am. I'm ready for Season 2.
Well, we got 2
110%.
more weeks of doing a rewatch,
2 more
but these next 2 chapters,
Yep.
really special, in
Yeah.
my opinion. And I'm hoping
Very,
now
very good.
that we are, again, just kind of sitting back and enjoying the ride, that I'll enjoy them even more. But we'll wait and
Oh,
see.
for sure.
We'll wait and see. Now, I want to say this, though, because those of you listening right now are probably our dedicated listeners. I'll go ahead and give a tease for this. Next week, we are announcing a giveaway to hype up our Season 2 coverage of The Mandalorian. So, those of you listening, stay tuned. Look out for us talking about it on next week's episode, the giveaway and the rules that you will, or the ways that you can get involved with the giveaway. And check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages at Mando Talk on all 3 of those platforms to see those details written or typed out to get further detail on that. So giveaway coming soon.
Free Star Wars stuff.
Free Star Wars stuff, free Mando Talk stuff, so you don't want to miss that. I appreciate you boys being here with me tonight.
Yes,
Jacob.
sir. I appreciate being here with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was great to have you. Nolan, it was great for you to be back, man.
It's good to be back. Good to be back. Back in the saddle.
And we haven't really touched on this. I look completely different. Like, the hair is gone,
did
man.
you guys not notice that? I mean, it's like Obi-Wan from episode 1 and Obi-Wan episode 3 difference.
Yeah, okay, I like that, man. I'll take that any day.
It's good.
Any day of the
Ewan
week.
McGregor is
Absolutely.
I mean, he's awesome.
Go ahead and just get us out of here with that.
All right, we have spoken.